know if this is going to work, but hi YouTube. Probably not the most flattering angle either, but I'm on a bike, and let's talk about the Catholic Church, because I found lately some really interesting preachers who, as you know, I'm, Sicilian descent, so brought up a Catholic, turned really against it. I'm not going to become some crazy born-again Christian, just in case you think. But, I obviously, there's so much corruption in the Vatican and all that sort of stuff. So it's obviously something I'm not big into. And also the fact that during COVID, obviously, all the churches were shut. They were really on board with everything. But there is one guy. Well, it's not one. I think there's been a few. Some real base preachers out there, and one of them who is an actual exorcist. I didn't know they still did exorcism, and he's absolutely fascinating. His name's Chad Rappenberg, I think, but he's called Chad. And I've just been binge listening to his sermons, and I've never heard anything like it. It's like he's exactly the same. He's saying exactly the same as basically all the New Age. They don't like the New Age, but spiritual warriors, I would say, light workers. He's saying exactly the same as them. He's totally on the same page as me about really everything. The only thing, and also, I think I mentioned maybe a few months back when I was talking about the patriarchs that I like to listen to. He's on the same kind of level, the same sort of, saying basically the same kind of things. So the same as, who are the other people? Oh yeah, Father Spiridon, who was the Greek Orthodox guy, and what was his name? I always forget the other guy. But he's all about women being queens. And I think he's also a father of sorts. Anyway, I've got a really snuffly nose. I'm really sorry. It's just being outside. But anyway, they're all basically saying the same thing. And it's just such an interesting perspective about, a woman's role. But I mean, anyway, so going back to Chad, he was just going on about, yes, women have to, I don't know, it doesn't say women have to be subservient, but he makes this kind of joke. He goes, I don't want to really go into it because it's too long to explain, but I think basically he goes on about Mary being the ultimate power at the end of the day. But while we're on earth, I mean, this kind of makes sense to me that in the material world where men are physically stronger than women anyway, men are the sort of, should be the head of the household, which is, it makes sense, because if there's, if there's an invading army or some sort of, physical threat to a family, the man is the head of the household, because he's going to be the one that goes into battle. It's not really going to be the woman, unless she's built like a brick house and he's a teeny little, waif of a thing. But yeah, it will be the guy. So it sort of makes sense. But then when it comes to the spiritual realms, and women have this, intuition anyway. I mean, we just do, because we have to, when we're looking after children, we have that we have to have that sort of sixth sense. It's more developed, and men have to have that sort of distance anyway. So that kind of, it just makes sense. And when he does exorcisms, he's been assigned that by Mary in heaven. So yeah, it's the it is the Queen sending out her soldiers and the Queen Bee and all that sort of thing. So all this stuff, it's just... But then, it's like people want to kind of wipe out these gender roles because we're binary and all, non-binary and all this. But it's nature. It's been natural law for thousands of years. So it's not... We are at end times if that's what's going to happen. But now he keeps going on about, we are coming to the point where he's just said that, and this kind of gave me hope, but I don't know whether this is copium or not. But it's like, he said that the demons only have power because God lets them have it, or Jesus lets them have it. And it's only to make us stronger. And one thing that really struck a chord with me was that the more demons, the reason that you're faced with so many demons, because I was thinking, why? A lot of the people I really like and follow, who are sort of light workers, they get pummeled by demons all the time. It's because it's true. The brighter the brighter you shine, the darker the shadow, and they will obviously attack you. And he said it's because God is testing you even more, because if you overcome these tests, if you resist the temptation and you manage to win the fights with these demons, basically, you have a higher place in heaven. Which sounds very elitist, and but it's a hierarchy anyway. I mean, we want to improve ourselves. Otherwise, what would be the point? We're going up a ladder of levels. We're going up in vibrations. You can't have this communist equality bollocks when it comes to spiritual development, because that's the whole thing. The whole point is evolution. We're not staying the same. But I do think it is the case that, there's going to be a small percentage who raise the rest of us up. Well, he kind of doesn't really think that. He that's where I think it differs, because I think he implies that if you don't get your act together, that's it, sorry. God doesn't forgive you. But there is, I don't know. I can't remember if he said that there was, an eternal damnation or not. But I would imagine that if you don't develop your vibration sufficiently, you will just not resonate, and you will find it painful to be in a higher vibration environment. So that kind of, again, it makes sense. And then so another thing is this thing about Gregorian chants. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but and I've heard this from Mark Bayeski, and I think I've mentioned this before as well, is that the demons really don't like Gregorian chants, and they especially don't like French ones for some reason. I don't know why. I'm wondering if that's because of the Cathars, actually, now I think about it. I've got in a muddy thing. Oh no, what do I do this for? It's just that there are people ahead, and I'm trying to avoid people thinking I'm a mental person talking to myself. Yes, the Cathars, Gregorian chants. So he's been going on about them, and then he has an interview with another a guy who works in mental institutions for years, and he said that they were definitely possessed. And the problem is that people say, oh, they're just mentally ill. They're just, schizophrenia is not possession by demons. That's an old-fashioned weird thing to think. But this exorcist said, look, when you see someone levitate, pinned against a wall or whatever, that's not a mental illness. When you see them physically shape shift, I mean, this is amazing stuff. I mean, is he making it up? I think I trust him. I think he's telling the truth. So anyway, so it's kind of like, it's been like a sort of journey where I started off with Mark Bayeski, and I still listen to him because I think he's so down to earth, and I really like that. Then he's being interviewed with this guy that works in a mental home who, that's probably the politically incorrect thing to say, I don't know. Anyway, who realised they were speaking to demons, and he was saying about the Gregorian chants that they really hate it. It's like it hurts their ears, they just don't want to be around it. And then this guy, this Chad Rappenberger, I know his surname is totally wrong, but anyway, he's going on about the same thing. But then he goes on about you're supposed to also, all these things which, to keep demons away, do the rosary, fast. And I can't really do fasting because I've got, what's it called? Gilbert syndrome, where you're not supposed to fast, so I can't do that. But you're supposed to not indulge every single thing. You've got to, the thing that really keeps demons away is self-discipline and abstinence and controlling your urges. And I mean, this is all basic stuff. This is all Saturn stuff. Setting boundaries with yourself, not overindulging, And at the end of the day, everybody's saying the same thing. Everyone is. And what was so heartening to hear is that, that there are people in the Catholic Church who know it's corrupt. He talks against the Pope all the time. And obviously, the whole gender, trans, blah, blah, blah. He's pretty non-PC about that and everything else, other sexual things. I mean, fornication is a sin. Of course, porn brings in demons. And it's all very much the celibacy. And it does make me, think about all these things because you don't want to let demons in. Anyway, let's not get into, but where was I going with this? I don't know where I was going. No, yes, the Gregorian chants, that's it. So the last, I think it's been about 3 weeks now, I started off with this miracle morning thing where this guy was saying, because rewind even further, finance in England is getting, cost of living crisis is getting really bad and it's affecting me. So I thought I've got to stop letting the fear get to me because I'm actually all right at the moment, but it's the fear of the mortgage repayments and and all this and getting repossessed and all this kind of stuff. So I thought, I've noticed that I'm letting the fear get to me. Income is going down because of that. And I need to do something about my mindset. So I saw there was another guy on YouTube going on about how he calls this thing the miracle mindset. And he said, well, what do successful people do? And the one thing they have in common is they do journaling, they do exercise, they do, what's the other thing? The main thing, meditation. So, and positive affirmations. So I thought, I'm going to start that. I'm going to start my miracle morning, spend an hour. I mean, I do yoga anyway, every morning, 20 minutes a day without fail. So that's easy. Affirmations I don't do, and journaling I don't do. So the journaling is tarot reading, just doing tarot reading for myself and reading it out and journaling, intentions with the tarot cards and developing intuition. So I do that for 20 minutes. Then 20 minutes of meditation. I thought, well, I'm really not very good at doing it in silence. So I thought, well, let's kill 2 birds and 2 demons with 1 stone and meditate to Gregorian chants. So I do that. And the affirmation as well. And I've been doing that for 3 weeks. And honestly, I feel so much better. My energy levels have gone up. Because I have been sort of chronic fatiguing a lot and the burnout and everything. But I have been working a bit insanely, I haven't been going to bed early, but I find I've got the energy now, even going to bed quite late. And I really do think it's because of the Gregorian chants. Mainly because I really enjoy it. I really, really, when it comes to the end, I mean, I really could feel the brain waves. What is it? I can't remember what it is. When you go down to a theta, is it theta level or beta, whatever? I definitely feel it's getting easier and easier to go into that trance head, which I didn't find it that easy before. And I'm sleeping better. It's just amazing. And I'm just going to keep doing it. I mean, this guy said that after 2 months of doing it, his income doubled. Wow. I mean, I know I could honestly say after 3 weeks, there's been lots of positive developments in my life. Just little sweet things, like my daughter got a job. She's been going on about getting a job for ages, and she's a student and she's really broke. And she goes, I don't like having to ask for money from you because I know it's hard for you and dad and everything. So she's got it. And just lots of other things, like getting the remortgage approved and like loads of things have all this week. And it all happened on the eclipse as well. A lot of things got approved at the eclipse, which was square my sun. So much for Pluto square, my sun being something really negative. No, it was absolutely life-changing, actually. And I just put it down to this. And then I was thinking, I want to merge the art with Christianity as well, because I'm a real sucker for iconography, like religious pictures of Jesus and Mary and stuff. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. And I love gold as well. So I'm thinking of doing some like artwork that's based on, that has quotes from the Bible, probably Revelations, and some more of the juicy stuff. But you can, on Zazzle, you can change it to whatever you want to put. So it doesn't have to be a Bible quote. It can be something from Rumi or whatever. So I'll put it, whatever quote you want, and a nice sort of arty gold thing of, I don't know how it's going to, but I've got in my mind, I've got this really nice sort of semi-abstract, ethereal picture of Mary, done my style, but a bit photo. But anyway, so that's come to me, and I thought, well, that's sort of merging spirituality with art. But anyway, but that's it really. I just wanted to do a catch up, and I think when I get home, I'll do the next, what's it called? Eclipse. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this weird let's talk while cycling, and just, I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to sort of update you on, but I just think, the point is you can get insights from all sorts of religions. And I've had, there was also the Muslim guy as well. He was a Sufi. I can't remember his name either. But these are all like very patriarchy people. And I do listen to a lot of women as well, spiritual teachers. But I always find it very interesting to get the patriarchal perspective, because they are really interesting. So that's it really. I think I'll leave it there. Ooh, what was that noise? I think that was a bunny. All right then, so thanks for listening. Bye.